Round of applause, please. Thank you.
Now, the signing of this bill marks an important step towards resolving long-standing challenges in our education system. It was President Nelson Mandela who said that it is not beyond our power to create a world in which all children have access to a good education. This law is part of our ongoing effort to create such a world, a transformed world. We have seen cases of learners being denied admission to schools because of their language policies. We have had cases of children not being allowed back to school or to sit exams because their parents cannot pay the school fees. We have also seen great disparities in norms and standards, in governance and in access to resources that should enable our education to operate at the optimum level. The Basic Education Laws Amendment Bill seeks to address these and many other challenges. Years ago, we should have focused more of our attention on the foundational level of education and ensure that there's great foundation in our children as they advance to higher levels of education have had a strong foundation. Now, that is why grade R, the reception year before grade 1, will now be compulsory. This will enhance our focus on early childhood development, which we should have done years ago. This law now requires schools to apply the same standards for the admission of learners. The bill contains provisions for improving school admission policies, particularly with respect to vulnerable learners like the children of undocumented migrants. The legislation promotes greater accountability with respect to the role of parents and caregivers in ensuring children attend school consistently. Homeschooling, which has become something that many parents are opting for, will now be subject to more effective regulation and oversight. And it is no longer masizenzele, you just do it for yourself. It is now going to be regulated because it is our responsibility as the state to make sure that every child in South Africa is educated. And we say this on a compulsory basis. To promote inclusivity, the new law guides schools on the development of codes of conduct that take into account respect for religious as well as cultural beliefs. This is important for fostering a more tolerant learning environment and a more tolerant society. As part of advancing diversity and inclusion, the new law advances the issue of a language policy. Schools have to consider the broader linguistic needs of the communities in which they are situated. The law seeks to align the role of the school governing body in determining language and admission policies with the responsibility of the Education Authority, the provincial education departments, to ensure the constitutional right to basic education. That is the authority of a state body to make sure that the right to education is enforced. It is important on an area as important as education that there should be state involvement, as we say there should be parent involvement as well. So the two must be seen as complementary. And of course, the role of parents is so key and important, but so is the role of the state that has an overarching responsibility on what happens in education in our country. To improve safety in the learning environment, the legislation reinforces the ban on corporal punishment. It introduces stronger penalties for those who administer corporal punishment. The legislation introduces financial and public accountability frameworks for school governing bodies as well. It guides the oversight of their activities and work. There has been much debate about this bill. Different views have been sharply expressed. In the last few days, in fact, in the very last few hours and the last few minutes, parties to the Government of National Unity, as well as parties outside the Government of National Unity, have expressed their wishes to further engage each other on some of the sections of the bill that deal with the issues, particularly of access, admission, and language. Now, up till just a few hours ago, a number of those parties have said, President, we have a solution to address these two issues. And they have said, all we require is just a moment for further consultation. And they have said, we beg you not to sign the bill. Please do not sign the bill. I've said no. I have committed to the people of South Africa that I am signing the bill today, and that's what I am doing. But I have also said, I am hearing you. I am listening to what you are saying. And in the spirit of cooperation and meaningful engagement, I cannot say no to engagement, even at this late hour. I cannot say that. I have to say, if you do believe that these challenges can be resolved, I am going to do the following. I am going to sign the bill to give a clear message to the people of South Africa that we are proceeding with the transformation of our education system. However, as president, I'm prepared to open a window for consultation for a limited period on two clauses. And I've therefore decided that having signed the bill must now proceed to be implemented, and I'm glad that the Minister of Basic Education has clearly said that once signed, this becomes the law of the Republic, and the department, meaning herself, the Deputy Minister, and the department will go ahead and implement. So, implementation on signing should start immediately. However, I have said as president, I am willing to allow those who do believe that a solution will be found to the two clauses that they believe they have solutions for, to give them the opportunity. So I've decided to delay the implementation for clauses 4 and 5 of the bill by a period of 3 months. The rest of the act is implemented immediately. For 3 months, I allow 4 and 5 to have those engagements. This will give the parties time to deliberate on these issues and make proposals on how the different views may be accommodated. Should the parties not be able to agree, I want to make this clear, should the parties not be able to agree on an approach, then we will proceed with the full implementation of all the parts of the bill. Whatever our disagreements, we all seek a better, a more efficient, and a more equitable education system that best serves the children of South Africa.